Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. I thought I would pop on today and show you the alternatives that I made for the Hooray for Birthdays kit, paper pumpkin kit. And they were a lot of fun to make with all of the flowers that were pulled out. Hold on, I'm just checking my computer here to turn off the volume. Okay. I think we're ready to go. Turn that off. All right. This kit had made 9 cards, and they were all fun folds. So they were all easels. Now, I did not make any of the original cards. I made alternatives to those. And it came with this stamp set, little hashtag, hugs and wishes, hooray, birthday wishes, it's your day. And it came with this, these stickers, pop-out stickers, hooray. And then you could say, hooray, birthday wishes, hooray, it's your day, or birthday and use birthday hugs and wishes. So you could mix it up, and then has happy too, happy birthday. Mix it up and, you know, make it say what you wanted it to say. It came with hydrangea hue card bases, and also it says Melon Mambo on the color coordinating products. It says basic black, darling duckling, that was the little yellow centers for the flowers. Hydrangea hue, melon mambo, old olive, and timid tiger. Melon mambo, this must be 2 shades lighter of the melon mambo, because that's very light. And this has 2 different size checks borders. It also comes with, it came with these decorative pieces. And I think the only one that I had left over that I did not use was one of these half moons. And then it comes with everything that you need. Like you could take the kit to go to the park, go to, you know, a friend's, go to the hospital to visit, give it as a gift. But it has everything you need. The tape for adhesive, glue dots, your little ink spot, which is Timid Tiger on this one, dimensionals to pop things up, and your ink or your stamp set. And then they all come with envelopes, and these envelopes were a little different than the ones we normally get. Sometimes we get plaid or, you know, some kind of decorative envelope. These were white, and they had the shape of this little white decorative piece here to address your envelope. So those were kind of cool. I actually only used the back side of the envelope, because sometimes when there's a lot of white showing, our basic white and the paper pumpkin white don't match, and it makes our basic white look a little dingy compared to the bright white of the kit. So I sometimes will make a layer out of the envelope and just turn the paper over and use the back side instead of using, you know, this that has the pearlescent or whatever fluorescent piece on it. Okay, so I used I'll show you what I used, what I had left. I have a few of the birthday hooray. I have a few of those left. I used all of my flower centers. In fact, I even needed an additional one and didn't have any of the teeny tiny ones. So I just took my little hole punch and I made 3 little punches in this one, and it looked really cute. I had this part of a piece of cardstock left, and I will probably use it eventually to come up with one more card. I had all of these tags left, and these were the 3. We got 3 pages of flower punch outs. I wish I could figure out something to do, you know, with the punch outs. I think those are pretty too. And then there was my stamp set, and you can see I used all the greetings and the hashtag. I did not use the flowers. flower centers and the leaves, and then it had Hooray. I didn't use those, but I always keep my paper pumpkin stamp sets. I have this paper sitting here because this light shines right directly on that spot. Okay, so my first card was this card that I used a Melon Mambo base, and this piece is 1 1/4, and I embossed it, and then these are all 3/4, and then just layered those on there, added my flowers, stamped It's Your Day, and I love how that turned out. And then I also cut a piece for the inside to stamp something on. So I thought that turned out really pretty. Now these dots are the Moody Glossy Dots, and I always keep this package out that I color. I can color these with my blends, alcohol blends. So I'll color one and show you. And then I just let that dry. I usually do 3. And I just let that dry. And then I can put that on my, and I have custom colors. So there's a little tip for you. Okay, and then our second card. This was one that my counterpart is Kathy Schmidt, the Backyard Stamper. Please go follow her YouTube channel. We collaborate on a class for our subscribers, and we take all the alternatives and give them the measurements and the pieces of the kit that they need, and then do a video to show them, to show everybody what we came up with. So this was one of her cards, Happy Birthday Wishes, and I thought this turned out so cute. And this is just, this panel is just cut off here, layered on a piece of hydrangea hue, and this is where the score line was for this card originally, to make the original card. And so we just cut it off there and added it to a layer of hydrangea hue, and it made a cute little flip and fold card. Okay, and then this also was one of Kathy Schmidt's cards, and she made a bookbinding card. Usually we use a little bigger, you know, but to be able to get this piece on, we had to make the binding a little smaller. So, and then she chose to put a ribbon through, and then we put all of the strip of greenery at the bottom and the flowers we wanted, birthday hugs and wishes, and then you can stamp the inside too. And you can see this is where the original fold line was. And you can take your bone folder, if you don't like that, you can take your bone folder and you can rub that out and get some of the bump to disappear. But it doesn't bother me for it to show. So, okay, this is one of Kathy's cards, and this was an inspiration from one of our swaps from Kathy Anderson, one of our teammates. And this is kind of like an easel, and it pops up. It has this little panel. This is the brand new embossing folder called, I was going to pull it out and tell you what the name is. Show it to you. It's called Softly Woven 3D Embossing Folder. And it's a huge one. So that is one of the new products coming out. And so my easel just hits against here and sits up like this for display. Is that not gorgeous? And I didn't have the exact same greenery that she had left over, I don't think, for her card. So I just made do with the little bundles of greenery, and I think it turned out great. And then I added some of the hydrangea hue in color butterflies. Now this is one of my cards that I made, and it's a gatefold card. And this was the original fold on the cardstock. And so I just took this side and brought it over to meet this side and scored it. And you can see, like, if you want to put a layer in here so that this score line does not show, you can. Or, I mean, you can try to rub it out a little bit. Just take the bump side and push it back out. And it's still going to be there a little bit, but it's just not quite as prominent. Like I said, it doesn't bother me, but I may add a layer of Melon Mambo and white, like I did on that first card that I showed you. And then I made a second one during the class. This one has the layer. See, you don't see the fold line. But can you see the difference here in the white? And see, if I wanted it to match, which I did do a few of these, but not all of them, I can take this and cut it apart and just cut that layer, the back, to go. And then see, that would match. And then this was a fold that I saw that Susan Campfield made on her video. And it's a flap card. And this pops up and then opens like this. And I use a lot of white card bases because everybody has white. And that just... I cut our card bases apart, and then that makes them go farther. Now this was a pocket card that I made, but I decided that this was fairly thin, this little white oval. So I actually put dimensionals so that mine was stuck in there. It doesn't come out. And then this is an original, this is the card. This is the card base, and then I used the piece that I cut off to make this card. So that's off of one card base. And then I could have, I think Kathy did this to hers. This is the new ribbon coming out. She put a hydrangea hue card base on the back of hers, so this pulled out. She did not attach her pocket like I did. Hers pulls out, and then goes back in, and then it also opens like that. And then this was, I used the remaining piece that I cut off of that to make this cute little card. Just very simple, just layered my pieces there. And I have two because I made one in the class. And this one was a little bit different because I used the solid in color hydrangea hue ribbon that was available back in May. And this was the new ribbon that just is coming out with the white edge that's coming out in September. Very cute. And then you see, I use different flower arrangement here. Whatever you like, I think is great. And then these were kind of the original that we showed in the class, and then I took all my leftovers and I thought, okay, I'm going to try to finish up the products that I have. So I made this card. I used one of those half moons. And then I don't know if you've heard, but Stampin' Up! Has come out with the hot foil system. So I made a birthday greeting, happy birthday, and then I used Here's to Another Year, which is one of the birthday greetings. They have a whole selection of, little slim greetings, and I cut out a bunch, and I just keep it in a little box up here on my desk so that when I want to add one of the gold foil greetings, I can just pull one out of my box. So I thought that turned out kind of cute. And then I added a little flower on the inside for decoration. And then I had this card. Now this is one of the note cards, Stampin' Up! Sells. And I used one of the pointed diamond shape sheets, and I cut it like at, well, I didn't measure this layer. It was a piece that I had, you know, left over that I cut out. So I just measured this piece to where it didn't come down quite all the way, and then just cut it there and then added it as a second piece on top of that one. And then I embossed this with the Paradise Garden embossing folder, the leaves. I thought with, you know, the leaves would be great with the flower combination. And then this is another one of the ribbons we have coming out in September, is this white kind of shiny ribbon. And then I just added a little piece of linen thread. So I thought this turned out really cute. And then I had a little strip left over, and so I just added that to the inside. And then I had this square of the hydrangea hue plaid or checked, whatever you want to call it, left over. So I cut that into strips and embossed it with the Lazy Daisy embossing folder. And then this is from the Banner Sayings stamp set, and they're all small so that they all fit in this triple banner punch. I love this triple banner punch, or 3-banner punch, and I use it a lot. In fact, I don't put it in my organizer, my punch organizer, because I use it almost every time I'm stamping. So I took a bunch of the greetings that I had stamped out on Banner Sayings. I just stamped a whole bunch on a sheet and then cut them where I could punch them out. And I thought it looked kind of cute with all of the greetings on it. And then I used that new ribbon. I did have one of the gold sayings across here, but my friend said, I think that's a little bit too much, so just go back to the original design. So that's that one, and that's also one of those little little cards, note cards. And then here's another one, the little note cards, and this was a piece of the Melon Mambo checked, and I put that through the Distress Tile embossing folder, and then I used the oh darn, what are those called? If you don't have those dies, you really do need to get them. They are amazing, and I will show them to you. Spotlight on Nature. They have all kinds of different shaped circles that you can layer. And you can even layer these, you know, with your circle punches. So I use these quite a bit. So I did use that for these two, both of these. And then just added a little white ribbon that we are getting in September. And I just put a little strip at the bottom on the inside. Then this one is probably way out there, and I don't know what you think of this one, but I thought it turned out kind of cute. Hello, I love sunshine. Just to send for I'm thinking of you, a happy birthday. I mean, you could use it for really anything. And I just took the strips I had left over. I cut them 1/2 inch by, I think this white layer was 3 inches. So I cut this at like 2 7/8 or something. And this set is the summer happiness dies. I didn't get the stamp set. I only got the dies. And this matches or goes with this new washi tape. And so I cut the I cut, and I just put this on a strip of white cardstock. And then I cut out, and see, you've got two different colors of glasses. And I did color my glasses over this pink. Well, I think they were more red, the ones that I cut out. Yeah, that one's more red. Anyway, I used my Melon Mambo and I colored over that a little bit. And then there were some pink flowers, and those don't match the dies. I couldn't figure it out. So I just cut that out by hand. And then I had one that I tried to cut out with the die, but it didn't match. So I thought, well, I can use half of it because half of it matched. So, and then these are centers left over from the kit. And then my flip-flops. And I took my white gel pen that Stampin' Up! Sells and made some little dots to make it polka dot. So I thought this turned out really cute. And this is where I colored some of my embellishments with my Melon Mambo marker. Stampin' Up! Oh, and then I have one more. I had a little treat box that I made. Little belly band, and this just opens up like this. You can put all kinds of little candies in there. Hershey nuggets, the Hershey's candies fit well, and you can wrap, designer paper around those if you like and decorate them. I made something like 70 of these at Christmas for my granddaughters to take to school for their class, and we filled them with candy. I think we were even able to get fruit snacks in them, and I think we could get a mini container, a little mini package of M&Ms, and the little mini candy bars that you see a lot when they're out for Halloween. But I thought that turned out really cute. So those are all of my projects that I made with my kit. So that's one project, one little box, treat box, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 projects I made out of my kit. And like I said, I still have that one piece of card base that I can still make one more card or project out of it. And then when I was flipping through, I found these two little strips. So that's pretty much all that was left from my kit and those few tags. Now, if you're interested in Paper Pumpkin, they have come a long way since they originally started issuing those, and they are so much better. But you always get it's a complete kit, so you can take the kit and go make it just like, just like the cards show. They give the directions and everything, where to put the glue dots, where to put the ribbon, where to put everything. So, I mean, it's self-contained in that box. And sometimes you get a decorative box, and sometimes you just get the little orange Paper Pumpkin box. And this comes in the mail just like this. And then they have it nicely wrapped with in tissue paper. So it's all in cellophane so that nothing will slip out of the box in shipment or anything. And right now they're having a sale. If you've never subscribed to Paper Pumpkin before, you can get a kit right now through August the 10th for 25% off. So if you decide that you would like to subscribe, I would be glad to be your demonstrator. And like I said, we have a little kit or a little class that we have for our subscribers, and we show our alternatives, and we make some on the video for you to see and give you the, pieces and parts and etc. So I would love to have you join us. Remember to visit my friend, Kathy Schmidt, the Backyard Stamper. And also, if you're looking for great videos to watch, go visit my friend Marissa Alvarez at the Kitchen Table Stamper. In fact, she will be live at noon today, so if you'd like to catch her. Well, that's all I have for today, and thanks for watching, everybody.